This is Chris, the Idaho Painter, coming to you with another quick and simple tool tip here from Boise, Idaho. And I've got one of my favorite tools here in our vans. This is quickly becoming my favorite ladder and one of my favorite go-to tools. And this product right here, this is an extend climb ladder. And there's a website you can actually see this ladder on if you want a better look at it from here, and it's called extendclimb.com, and that's EXTEND and then climb, CLIMB.com, extendclimb.com. You can see this ladder right here. It's only about 2.5 feet tall, and this ladder has got just a Velcro strap on it, and right here, once you release the Velcro strap, this ladder will actually telescope up to 15.5 feet. This is a 15.5 foot version. They've got shorter ones, and then they got longer ones, and this is a 250 pound model, so it's rated up to 250 pounds. But you can see how this thing just telescopes up and just easily slides up and extends up to 15.5 feet. So, and I'll show you right here, it's going to extend up, and then it's got these quick release buttons right here. You just click these quick release buttons, the ladder is going to fold right back up. It extends out quickly, folds back down quickly. This is a must-have ladder. Got to have it. We put it in all of our vans. I got one in my pickup truck. Stows away behind a seat, stows away nicely and neatly in your vans. Doesn't take up as much space nearly as your typical Werner extending ladders. Another product that can make your life a lot easier when it comes to prepping exteriors, and this is a product called XIM Peel Bond Primer, and this is a very versatile primer that's going to bond and adhere to very hard surfaces, and it'll bond and adhere to stucco, masonry, it's going to adhere to bare wood, and it's going to adhere to peeling painted surfaces and a multitude of other surfaces. And we use it just about every exterior we prep. We use it on just about all of them when it comes to primers. And this is a latex based primer, and it's really good for solving alligator peeling or orange peeling on the exterior of a house. You get all power wash and scrape and get all the loose paint off, and then you can spray it over the alligator or orange peeling, and it almost virtually eliminate it and smooth it out, and you won't even see it. But it penetrates bare wood, and it bonds to bare wood very easily, and can be top coated with a multitude of top coats, including latex paints. And our top coats are typically Sherwin-Williams Super Paint. But this, we use it a lot when we come to door jambs or exterior surfaces that are peeling, and we use a product from Wagner called a paint eater, and we'll sand those surfaces. But there's going to be places where the paint doesn't come off, where it's still bonded, and so those areas that are still bonded, we'll feather them out with our sander. But then the peel bond is extremely thick. You can take and stick a stir stick in this and lift it up, and it sticks to the stir stick like it's really thick Elmer's glue. It dries clear, so you can't even see it. We actually mix a little bit of paint into it, but not even a half a pint, almost a little less than a half a pint, and it'll actually give it some color, so when it dries you can actually see where you've applied the product, because it can be a little bit irritating when you put it on and you can't even tell the next day when you come back to paint where you've primed and when you haven't primed, because we always back roll and back brush the areas that we prime prior to spraying. Sherwin-Williams does sell a product that is comparable that they've copied, and it's called Peel Bond. It's Prime RX Peel Bonding Primer, and that's from Sherwin-Williams, and it's almost identical. I can't even tell the difference between the two. But we keep them stocked in our vans. It's an excellent product. You've got to give it a try. They're exterior primers doing exterior repaints. It's going to make your life a lot easier. It's going to make your repaints faster, and it's going to make them look a lot better. This is Chris with a quick and simple tip for you. Just to give you an idea of how thick this primer is, and because it's so thick is one of the reasons why it's really good for smoothing out and feathering out the edges of older homes or door jambs or places that have real bad peeling paint that you've sanded and can't get all of it off, and to try to get rid of some of that chunky look. You can see this primer is extremely thick, just like this, and the thickness of this primer, that when it dries it leaves a heavy thick coat of primer on there that's really good for feathering out those edges. And it looks white right now, but it actually dries clear. using Bondo, Glazing, and Spot Putty. And this is a product that we use, keep in our vans, and we use it quite a bit on metal doors. If you get any small dings or dents on metal doors, we use it to get rid of those dings. And the reason why we actually use Bondo, Glazing, and Spot Putty is it dries a lot harder and sands to a finer finish than any of your spackles do. So when you're trying to get rid of, if somebody gets a small dent, hits it with a ball or something like that, you could actually use Bondo, Glazing, and Spot Putty to actually get rid of that dent so you won't see it. If you try to put spackle on there, it dries too soft and it actually sands to a point where you can still see the dent or ding or the spackle. And we also use it when we're doing interior trim work. All the nails that they nail the interior trim work with on new construction, we spackle those nail holes, then we sand them, and then we go over them with this Bondo, Glazing, and Spot Putty. And if you don't put the Bondo, Glazing, and Spot Putty on when you sand where that nail head is, the spackle is always a lot softer. It will sand out just a little bit, and you'll always be able to really lightly see where that nail hole was. If you use Bondo, Glazing, and Spot Putty, go over the sanded spackle spot, go over it with the Bondo, Glazing, and Spot Putty, then sand it with a medium 3M sanding sponge. You will not be able to see that nail head or nail hole that was there once you top coat it with 2 top coats. And all of our new construction, when we're going around, all the nail heads that we spackle and sand, then we prime. After we spackle, sand, prime, apply Bondo, Glazing, and Spot Putty to all those nail heads, and your trim work will come out looking like a new automobile finish. Series spray gun. So I got this spray gun right here. It's brand new in the package. I haven't even opened it yet, and there's a couple things that I'm kind of excited about. And one of the things is it has a customizable grip, and I have really small hands, and this black grip right here on this thing is interchangeable. So it's got a small, medium, large, and that's pretty cool. It just unscrews with a Phillips head screw, and you can change out the grip. It comes with the medium grip, but you can actually get a small grip or a large grip to come with it. And then just from holding the gun inside the packaging, it does say it has an ultralight trigger pull, and that's definitely true. So this trigger pull is lighter than any gun that I've ever actually used in my career. And what that means is I'm actually getting some tendonitis in my forearms from actually spraying a lot, and this lighter trigger pull is going to hopefully help alleviate that tendonitis, and it's just going to make it not so difficult to spray all day long. Another one of the features I do like about this gun, it does come standard right here in the packaging with a 2-finger gun. I really can't stand 4-finger guns. I never use them because it doesn't really give you control of the gun because you got 4 fingers on the trigger. This way you've got 2 fingers on the gun, 2 fingers on the trigger. It does actually come with a 4-finger grip inside the packaging for those people that like a 4-finger grip. So that's kind of nice. It does come in there, no extra charge. It does have infinity packing, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but supposedly the packings last a lot longer than, say, another gun like a Graco gun that we use. It's supposed to last twice as long as those Graco guns, and those Graco guns, if you got to repack the gun, the packing kit's about $75, and it doesn't even become cost effective to replace the packings. It's just better just to buy a new gun. The packings are supposed to be really easy to change, and there's just you just unscrew it, replace the ball, and away you go. And it's supposed to only be about $15. I'm gonna have to check that and verify it, but that's what I was told. So that's a pretty nice feature about this gun. It does have a couple other things. It's got a built-in filter wrench, it says on here. So before the Titan guns, you actually had to go get a crescent wrench to actually change the filters. Now it's got a built-in filter wrench, and it does have 2 hooks on it, ladder hooks, and actually hooks that you can hook on your pants or your painter pants. So those are cool and nice features. Not sure if it's something I would use. This does have a new trigger lock on it that actually is like a drill, so you just push on the side of it and it actually locks the trigger in place so you can't squeeze it. So that's a new type of trigger lock that they've come out with on this thing, and that could be a lot easier to use than a trigger lock. I don't ever use trigger locks. I don't think I've ever used a trigger lock on an airless spray gun in my career, but for those that use it, it's just kind of just like a standard drill, changing the drill from reverse to forward just by pushing on the side lever. Then I'm just gonna open this thing up and we're gonna take a look at it, a little bit closer look. Just see what's inside this thing. So here's the gun right here. It does come with a Titan guard and a Titan tip, a 517 tip. You see what's down in this packaging. It's got some instructions. So it's got instructions on the gun. It's got some warnings. Here's the instruction booklet that it comes with. I don't need that. So we'll just set this aside. So this is the Titan Red Series RX Pro right here. And once again, some of these features are very new when it comes to airless spray guns, and so we're going to be checking this thing out. Here's the 4-finger grip. For those of you that like the 4-finger grip, I do actually have a video actually how to cut down a 4-finger grip to a 2-finger grip, because I can't stand these 4-finger grips. But here it is in the packaging right here. So you can either have the gun with a 4-finger or 2-finger grip, and I'm gonna always be using a 2-finger grip. So here's the gun right here. It's one of the cool things. I do like it. It's actually red. That's really cool. It's a beautiful looking gun. I know it's going to get all completely covered with paint, but this is the gun itself. It does have a hook right here that you can hook on a ladder, or a hook right here that you can actually hook on a ladder. So these are 2 hooks. That's completely new on this gun right here, and any spray gun I've ever seen. I've never seen any hooks. So when you're climbing up the ladder, you can actually hook it onto your pants if you're climbing up, and put the ladder, put the gun lock on, trigger lock, hook it to your pants, hook it to your belt, and climb up the ladder with it. So it does have your standard 517 tip right here with a Titan guard right here. So we'll just take off this Titan guard. Take a look at this thing here, this tip here. Just set that aside. Take a look at this gun. It's got, so you release the knuckle guard on it, and now it does have a wrench built right into this thing, which is really nice. Before, you actually had to go get a crescent wrench, and that's the main reasons I never actually used Titan guns, because I couldn't stand going and finding a wrench to actually have to change the filter. So you can see how it comes out now. Now my filter's right inside there. The filter will come out. Just unscrew simply your standard filter. Just stick that. It's actually doesn't even screw, it just sits inside there. So you can see that. Pretty simple. Just put it back together here. That filter in there. Stick our guard. So this is, you can see, hopefully you can see right here, there's just a Phillips head screw where you can actually change that grip. And I got small hands, so I'm going to be getting a small grip instead of a medium grip. Actually, the medium grip feels pretty good in my hands, and I got really small hands, but I'm actually going to get a small grip to just give it a try, because I think a small grip would actually be better. So you can see this thing would just go right back together and just hook. And it's got, hopefully you can see right here on the side, it's got the lock, so you can pull it, and I can just push it with my thumb this side, and you stick it with a finger or thumb, and it actually locks just like that. Now the gun won't spray. Just screw my guard back on. When it comes to repacking this thing, I'll actually get a packing kit for this thing, and I'll do a video on repacking it and see how simple it actually is. It's supposed to be a lot faster to repack, and it's supposed to be a lot less expensive. It's supposed to be only $15 for the packing kit, and that's, you know, compared to a Graco gun, which is $75. So it makes it so you can easily repack it, and it actually makes it worth actually repacking and not just getting a new gun. Typically when the guns are on sale, you can get them cheaper than you could actually, or about the same price as it would to repack them when it comes to other guns like Graco guns. I use a Graco Contractor 2 gun as the standard gun I've been using for quite a few years. But once again, you got that safety lock. It's the trigger pull just right here. It's got a really nice trigger pull. So 2 of the things that I like about this gun, and why I probably will start using this thing, is that light trigger pull. That's one of the key features. And then this actual grip. I really like this grip right here, and being able to interchange that grip. That's a really nice feature on it too. SixytEight Painter bringing you another handy tip, and this tip is when you're out painting on an exterior and you're running into rough surfaces that your masking is having a hard time sticking to, and sometimes due to the humidity or due to dusty conditions on fences and roofs, we'll find situations where a masking won't stick, even if we're using an inch and a half masking. And if you run into that situation, one of the handy tips that you can do is actually just use a spray adhesive. we use 3M Super 77 spray adhesive, and you can spray that on a fence or spray it on a roof, and it will help your masking stick. Another thing that you should actually keep in your vehicles and keep handy for those hard to stick areas is duct tape. So if your fence, if there's a lot of moisture in the air or the fence is wet or moist, you can try using duct tape on the fence. So put a strip of duct tape going up your fence that you're trying to mask to keep the overspray, you know, from your spraying your house onto the fence. You're trying to mask that fence off, use duct tape, or actually try spraying it with Super 77 adhesive from 3M. Just a quick simple tip to help you work around masking tape that's not sticking. This is a product from Walla Walla called Bug Juice, and it actually kills flying and crawling insects, and we add it into the paint while we're painting the house, and once the paint dries, any insects that actually land or crawl in the house, it will kill them. So it's very effective killing spiders, mosquitoes, gnats, and wasps and hornets. So if you got a problem, if you're keeping your soffit lights on your house, some subdivisions require you to keep your soffit lights on, or if you're keeping them on for safety, the soffit lights will attract gnats, which attract spiders, which put webs all over your house, and a year later, after having your house repainted, it can look pretty unsightly with spider webs and bugs all over it. It is very effective killing hornets and keeping hornets, which could bite and sting you or your kids, off your property and off your house. So it's a product that I've used now for approximately 5 years, and we've used it down by the Boise River where there was homes having extensive problems with spiders actually on their house, and they were actually having to power wash them about every 3 months. And after putting this product on 5 years later, there's no bugs or spiders on the house. It's a product we're putting in about 90% of the paints we use now on exterior paints. It's completely environmentally safe, safe for pets, safe for humans. You can actually use it inside and outside of your house. It's a product called Bug Juice by Walla Walla. You've got to give it a try. This is Chris, the Idaho Painter, coming to you with another answer to your question for my subscribers on YouTube, and that's what interior or exterior spackle do we like to use. And we typically keep 2 spackles in our vehicles, and we like to use both of them in different cases. And there's an interior exterior spackle that we use pretty commonly indoors and outdoors, and that's a product from Crawford's, and that's a vinyl spackling paste. And that spackle we use in most cases, but there's another spackle that we also use and keep in our vehicles, and that's a lightweight spackle. And typically lightweight spackles are only can be used indoors. There are some interior exterior lightweight spackles, but a lightweight spackle is not as durable as an interior exterior spackle or vinyl spackling paste from Crawford's. But indoors, when we're trying to paint a room the same day and we're trying to do small patches, we'll typically use a lightweight spackle to just fill little small holes, because it's going to dry very quickly and won't shrink. Typically your interior exterior spackling pastes that are a lot more durable, dry a lot harder and stronger, but they do typically shrink a little bit and will require 2 coats and some sanding. So hopefully that answers your questions, what type of spackling or spackling paste we use. There's 2 of them, and we use Crawford's lightweight spackling, or we use Crawford's interior exterior spackling paste. There's different brands out there of the lightweight spackle that you could use, and we like a multitude of different ones when it comes to the lightweight spackles. But when it comes to the interior exterior spackling paste, our favorite is Crawford's vinyl spackling paste. This is Chris. Hopefully this answers your question. What do we use when it comes to spackle?